We're starting in child's pose, and you can choose which child pose you want to experience. You can have your knees together, or your knees wide apart, or anywhere in the middle. With your knees together, your back will get a bit more of a curve. With your knees apart, your chest gets nice and relaxed in between, and you get more of an inner thigh stretch. See which you would like to get more benefit out of. And put an intention for your practice today. Inhale, lift your head and walk both hands towards your left hand side. And make a little bit of traction on the side of the body, on the ribs, on your armpit. And bring it back to center and change sides. Bring the hands onto the floor and stretch the side body. And bring it back to center. Come into all fours, please. And we're going to do an upper body twist. So bring your right arm up, stretch towards the sky. Exhale, thread the right arm underneath. And let that head rock and roll on the floor. And inhale, bring the arm up again. We're going to do it 3 times and see how you feel when you go a second time. And bring the arm up again. And you can stretch more and feel the sides of the ribs. And then thread the arm. Maybe bring the left arm up. Maybe you can rest the left hand behind. And bring the left hand in front of you. And turn your head. Keep your right arm underneath your chest. Turn your head to look forwards and rest your chin onto the floor. And coming back to all fours, cat-cow. So if you could feel what we were doing there, come to sitting onto your shins and I'll show you a little bit because it's important to get the right twist. So we are threading the hand underneath. The head is on the floor, the shoulders are on the floor. When you, at the end, when you bring your hand forward and turn your head, what you're doing is getting a little bit more of a pressure on your shoulder, and that way you stretch that shoulder a little bit more. Is that clear? Good. Fabulous. So let's do it on the other side. Left arm comes up, stretching up. Push the right hand onto the floor and exhale, thread it through. Remember that we are using the whole body. Inhale, feel your feet on the floor, your knees on the floor, your hands stretching up and thread it through. That's it. One more time. Stretch. Push the hand on the floor. Reach towards the sky. And thread it through. And you can stay there or bring your arm up and then let it rest behind your lower back. That's it. Stretching the shoulders. And then bring your right hand forwards and turn your head. Just by turning your head, the whole aspect of this asana changes. And bring your hand back onto the floor. Tuck your toes under and bring your knees closer together. Keep your hands onto the floor and we're going to stretch the lower back by pushing the hands onto the floor, pushing the lower back And then expand. We're stretching the toes as well, but I'm not telling you because that's a little bit painful. So maybe you don't notice and you're having the benefits of it without noticing. And stretch. One more. Arch. And stretch, opening the chest. And if you're wearing socks, this is a good time to take them off. Keep them to the side. You might want them for Shavasana. Middle finger pointing forwards. And come into a bent leg down dog. And just jump a little bit. Bring in a little bit of life to your legs. And then walk the dog. Swaying your hips side to side. Lovely. And come into a supported plank. Knees on the floor. Hands underneath your shoulders and your chest is forwards. And we're going to bring elbow down, hand and hand. So right elbow, left elbow, right hand, left hand. When you're ready, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Good, and change. Left, right, left, right. Left, right, left, right. Good. Have a quick rest in child's pose. And come back to center. Come into plank. Strong plank. Good. And we're going to tap opposite shoulders. Tap opposite shoulders. This is conditioning for the body, changing the weight from one side to the other, getting a little bit of a warm up. That's it, touching the shoulders. And last one, release, child's pose. You can have your fingertips onto the floor if you want more of a stretch on your armpit. Good. Back to center. And we're continuing with the arms, but now we're also going to add the legs. So if you want to help your wrists, you can fold your mat so that you have a step where you can place the heels of the hands, and that way your hands will feel, your wrists will feel a little bit more supported. If you don't need it, you don't have to have it. Good, so we're going to bring opposite arm and leg forwards and backwards. Lift, release, and bring it back. Opposite arm and leg, lift, release, and back. Opposite, lift, release, and back. And extend, lift, release, and back. Good. Extend, lift, lower, back to center. Extend, lift, lower, and back to center. Good. Have a little rest and watch what we're doing next. If you need to release your wrists, just shake them a little bit. We are strengthening our wrists by doing this weight bearing. And remember, it's only our weight, so we should be able to hold it, right? So we're going to go opposite arm and leg. Lift, diagonal, back, lower, and in. Opposite, lift, diagonal, back, lower, and back to center. Watch for a moment. See that I'm not doing this. I'm not going, I'm not like a compass going with the north. My middle is really strong and stable. My middle body doesn't move, just my legs. So if you imagine that I was lying on the floor I'm doing this, extending, opening, back to center and back. My body's not moving, okay? This is good for the abs, it's good for the core, and it's good for the back as well. It's strengthening your glutes as well. Remember to breathe, and we're going to do 4 repetitions on each side, so 8 in total, okay? Middle finger pointing forwards. Check where your belly is. If your belly is loose, you will be sticking your hips up. If it's too contracted, you might be arching your back. It has to be 1 point in the middle. Good. Keep that contraction. Your pelvic floor is also in and up. Inhale, extend, lift, diagonal, back to center, lower and relax. Extend, lift, diagonal, back to center, lower and relax. Extend, lift, diagonal, back to center, lower and relax. Extend, lift, diagonal, back to center, lower and relax. Very good. Child's pose. Have a little rest. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. So now we're going to see, and it's more difficult. Sometimes people get confused and do this one before opposite arm and leg. We're trying to move, we're going to try and move same arm and leg. So I'm going to bring my right leg and right arm and lift, lower and release. And you have to transfer the weight, lift, lower and release. It is a lot more difficult, go slowly. That's it, Philippa, well done. Go slowly and just try it out. Try, what's the point where your body can balance? That's it. This is asymmetrical. Fabulous. And release. Tuck your toes under. Let's give those knees a little bit of a rest. Bring your hips up. Come into down dog. And then back into plank. And we're going to bring right leg out, left leg out, right leg in, left leg in. Out, out, in. See that my hips are not going up. I'm staying in plank. Out, out, in. Out, out, in. Out, out, in. Out, out, in. Violetta, lower your hips a little bit. Chest over your waist, that's it. And have a rest. We're going to get ready for giving it all. Stretch your wrists if you need to. And we're going to come into plank. Come into your all fours or onto your knees just to watch. And we're going to come here and bring one knee and then the other to the sides of the body. That will be one. Then we're going to either go out, out, in, or out, in. Okay? A little bit of hard exercise, a bit of cardio. I know you can do it. So we start with knees to the sides and we're going to do 10 on each side. Just don't think about it. Come into plank. Come on, we can do it. Inhale. 1 and 2, 3. No. 3 is now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Rest. This is high intensity yoga, maybe. We need to start melting all that we accumulated in the during the winter because the spring is coming. So this is the time to get all of our water and earth elements out of the system. Kapha is out, making room for Pitta. Coming back to center. And either out, in, or out, in, out, in. We're going to do it for 15 seconds. Out, in, out, in, out, in. Keep going. Last, 2, 3, 1. Ah. Whew. Release. That's it. Have a little rest. Good. Go into seating. Roll the shoulders back and roll the shoulders forwards. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, just let your upper body release towards the legs. It doesn't matter how far you go. We're just trying to calm down the heart, stretching the arms, and no weight is supported by the legs or the arms. Lovely. Good. Bring your feet apart, about 2 fists distance between your knees. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, bring the opposite hand to foot or leg or ankle or wherever. Push onto the leg with the hand and the hand pushes onto the leg. And back to center and change. So there needs to be resistance. There's a little fight between the arm, the hand and the leg, and there needs to be resistance to have more of a twist. Inhale, back to center, exhale, twist. Inhale, center, exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Now watch for a moment. We're going to go opposite hand to leg, and then if you can reach wherever, and then arch and keep turning. So there needs to be a real rotation, pushing on the leg, the chest comes out, and you try to turn the chest and go whee all the way, okay? Here we go, inhale, arms up, exhale, opposite hand and leg, turn first, and then bring the arm overhead, trying to have your hip firmly on the floor. Back to center, change sides. Turn first, twisting first. Second, bring the arm overhead. Have your hips firmly on the floor. Back to center and release. Good. Bring yourselves onto the floor, elbows on the floor, and tuck and tilt your lower back. Tuck and tilt your hips a little bit, stretching your lower back. If you have a block, put a block in the middle of your mat. If you don't have a block, imagine that you have one. Or you can put a book or a cup of tea. It's just an option that you're going to avoid. You can have it sideways or portrait. And we're going to come down onto the floor, bring the legs up, and then go side to side. Bringing the legs up, side to side. Now resting on the floor, side to side. And you can continue doing that, or you can crisscross to one side, bring it up, crisscrossing to the other, and bring it up. Crisscross, crisscross, cross. Point your toes. Crisscross, 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 like a ballerina. Crisscross, crisscross. Last one. Crisscross, crisscross. Bring it up. Release your head. Flex your feet. Open your legs wide. Rest your hands on the inside of your thighs. Breathe. Breathe. Bring your legs together. Move the object from the mat, feet onto the floor, and the upper abdominals. Hands onto your thighs. And reach, reach, reach towards the knees. And release down. Reach, reach, reach. And release. Reach, reach, reach. And release. Keep going. And release. Reach, reach, reach. And release. Bring your hands underneath your knees. Rock backwards and forwards, coming into boat. So rock a few times and come into Navasana. Your knees can be bent or straight, toes towards the forehead if your feet are flat. And we're going to stay here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Breathe deeply. And let both knees rest to one side. Open the arm in the opposite direction. Stretching your ribs. Bring it back to center, change sides. Breathe deeply. And back to center. Shavasana. Time to rest. This is the most important part of the class. This is when we rest and digest. Breathe and let the whole body relax towards the floor. You can do a little bit of global listening. Listening to the sounds around you. Life waking up. Feel the quality of your breath. Some of us find it difficult to relax. Keep your chin towards your chest if you sit it up. That's it. Not too much, but just not upwards. That's it. Inhaling, exhaling. Observe what your mind is doing. And if your mind is getting distracted, bring it back to your breath, to this present moment. And before you move, just feel your body resting on the floor. Feel your environment. And wiggle your toes and your fingers. Roll your head side to side. Bring your head back to center, legs together, arms overhead, full body stretch. And relax. Bring your knees towards your chest, hug your knees. Rocking side to side to release any tension on your lower back. If you're seated, you can roll your shoulders. That's it. And then come into sitting to finish our class with our Oms and Shantis. So, as always, if you feel that you'd rather have a little bit more time on the floor resting, that is your choice, no problem. So we're going to inhale to begin. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. Bring your palms together, rub your palms. Make the movement a little faster, generating prana between your hands, and place your palms over your face. Inhale deeply. Open your eyes to the darkness of your hands. Slide your hands to your chest and bow your head. Namaste. Give yourselves a clap. Well done. Well done. Do ask if you have any questions. Let me know.